And the DOT really had three different areas of work to do to properly manage through the pandemic. The first was keeping commerce going. In the state of North Dakota, throughout the country, we needed to keep trucks moving, we needed to keep supply chain and supply routes open. So we invested in our rest areas, keeping them open 24/7, being able to sanitize and clean them 24 hours a day. The second really was making sure that our citizens were able to continue to receive services during the pandemic, particularly as it relates to motor vehicle and driver's license services. The third was our focus on our employees and making sure our employees had a safe place to work. And this involved a number of different tasks that we had to perform over a very short period of time. Here in our central office in Bismarck, we had to move almost all of our employees out of this building, some 400 employees within 72 hours. We successfully did that and set them up to be able to perform the services for our citizens by teleworking and at home. And that was a great success. We also have 9 district offices and some 60 section buildings, all of which had employees that we had to make sure their workplaces were clean, safe, and they were able to continue to provide services to the citizens of North Dakota.
As the North Dakota Department of Health ramped up efforts and grew by hundreds of new employees in just a few months, it didn't take long to realize it was going to take unconventional tactics to be able to resource the need that COVID-19 required. The health department has always been a believer in providing positive learning spaces and real-world experience for students interested in public health. And quickly, we worked to hire students to support testing, case investigation, contact tracing, analytics, and a variety of other areas.
The COVID-19 pandemic has affected everybody across the world. For me, I was supposed to job shadow a physician this past summer, but when COVID-19 hit, I was unable to do that. Instead, I was given the opportunity to work for the North Dakota Department of Health, and I personally was able to perform RNA extractions on the coronavirus. This has given me experience that I can use in my future.
The lab did some pretty amazing things, expanding our capabilities to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. We took our testing capabilities from 195 COVID tests a day to over 7,500. We added 3 mobile labs to provide extra space for the addition of about 28 more instruments. We tried to think outside the box to expand our capabilities of the lab. We created a 10,000 square foot distribution center that sends out all the testing supplies to the whole entire state.
This pandemic has had a major impact on North Dakota businesses and funding streams. Commerce has connected these businesses to federal resources. We've conducted surveys to understand how best to support them and held regular business briefings to keep them up to date on a rapidly evolving situation. As part of this work to support North Dakota small business, our Main Street Initiative provides community leaders with direct access to tools and resources to make sound planning decisions.
The pandemic has directly impacted the employment of tens of thousands of North Dakota citizens, resulting in record unemployment insurance claims. Since March, over 200,000 claims have been filed. That's 180,000 more than in all of 2019. In order to handle this workload and to ensure program integrity, Job Services redirected staff statewide towards unemployment activities. North Dakota was one of the first states to implement 3 brand new federal programs and begin paying individuals. Typically, each of these programs would take 3 to 6 months to implement. However, our Job Service IT and business staff worked day and night and accomplished this in weeks. Our adjudication staff are also amazing. North Dakota was one of only 3 states in the nation to meet federal program payment timeliness standards. This collaborative approach, along with the efforts of Job Service staff, have enabled us to inject almost $900 million into the economy of North Dakota, an absolute lifeline to to individuals and communities throughout the state.
From the earliest days of the pandemic, North Dakota understood how important it would be to help people avoid housing crisis. We created the emergency rent bridge so any renter who lived in North Dakota, had experienced an economic hardship due to COVID and was income eligible could qualify for emergency rental assistance for up to 6 months. We worked together with our partners at NDIT and the Department of Commerce to create an online application system that allowed applicants to submit their information and allowed us to make payments directly to housing providers.
DHS approached NDIT with an urgent need for an application to be developed to administer financial assistance for renters impacted by COVID-19. A small group from NDIT was quickly assembled, and in a matter of days we were able to deploy Phase 1 of the Emergency Rent Bridge application.
Over the last 8 months, we've been able to provide more than $2.5 million in rental assistance to over 1,200 renters across the state of North Dakota.